Hi guys, it's Nathan. I've been getting a lot of questions recently about what the sort of new updates are that we're working on for Notify. So I just want to walk you through probably the biggest update that we've ever done, actually. So this is why it's been taking sort of so long to get everything in place. But this is visitor segmentation. So within your campaigns in Notify, you're going to be able to make custom audiences and only trigger notifications to those specific users. Um, so we can essentially set up. This is just like a sort of rough design of the front end, just to sort of show the layout. It's been passed over to our sort of front end developers, and they're sort of building this currently. Um, and they're working. They've built sort of most of the back end stuff, so we're just sort of tying up a few sort of loose ends. And I think I'm as desperate as everyone else to sort of get this released on the platform. As in my opinion, this is a huge update, and it's an absolute game changer for how Notifier can function. Um, so from here, like, we choose either to include or exclude visitors. So we can choose first-time visitors, returning visitors, people who have visited uh, X page however many times. We can include or exclude specific browsers, desktop, mobiles, people who visited specific pages or haven't visited specific pages. For example, we could use this for sort of onboarding campaigns. Um, if someone hasn't used a specific feature or visited a specific page, we can, of course, sort of enroll them or exclude them from a campaign and tell them to go and use that feature, and so on. Um, Next up, we are also going to we already support website referrals and UTM parameters, but I'm trying to simplify the sort of process of setting up and installing a script. And setting up and installing a kit using one of our features within the Notifier dashboard. So if everything is sort of brought together in one place, you choose all of your targeting options. You can run multiple different targeting options simultaneously. You can exclude IP addresses. I get people asking how to exclude their own IP address, so this functionality is now available. Um, you can choose only to target specific locations, and so on. So anyone who's familiar with like Intercom, they have really interesting sort of segmentation options. And essentially, you're going to be able to do everything that you can do with Intercom in terms of building out the segmentation and enrolling people in specific sequences. Um, is now going to be possible within Notifier. So this has been a huge update for us. You know, we've spent close to 2 months working on this. I think it's been about 6 weeks that we've been working on it, building out the individual logic for every single thing here, specific countries, and um, people visiting X page and not visiting Y. And also, it was sort of quite a complex task getting everything to sort of tie in together. Building out the individual triggers it wasn't the hard part, um, but it's getting all of the triggers to work simultaneously. For example, if someone has said, I only want to display to first-time visitors who are using Firefox, who are on a tablet, who haven't visited page X, who have come from Google, and it is not this IP address. So it's getting all of those triggers to work asynchronously and making sure that it doesn't affect performance has been the main sort of technical challenge that we have been working on. So yeah, this is what the general interface will look like. And then I also want to share with you, this is the second part that I'm even more interested in, where you'll have the ability to add via the API. So this is the direction I've always wanted to take Notifier in. And yeah, and we are pretty much there. So now within Notifier's script, we'll need to change a slight tag on the script, but you'll be able to identify visitors on your platform, or on your website. For example, if you have something where people can sign up and log into, we can identify the people who are logged in. We can identify their email address. Or if you have a website visitor and they've previously submitted an email, we can identify that user as well. So we're having an email identification system. And what this will allow you to do is, for example, if you had a failed payment in Stripe, um, you would be able to add add this user to the segment via the API. Via Stripe's API. Stripe also support webhooks as well, and you could send over this data to us via webhooks. Whenever you have a failed payment, we would identify this user, and we would be able to trigger a notification just to that specific user, just to the person within that segment. And it will support things like first name parameters. So for example, on a subscription payment, if the payment failed or the credit card was due to renew, you could send this data over to us from Stripe or whatever billing system that you're using, and add that user to a specific segment of failed card payments or whatever it is that you're doing. And then we would trigger a notification just to that specific user saying, "Hi Tim, your card is about to expire. You can update it here." And this just offers like infinite possibilities. I mean, this Stripe is just an example off the top of my head. For example, in Notify, we can use in our onboarding campaigns. If someone hasn't used a specific feature, if someone hasn't installed the script on their website, we can show a pop-up saying, "Hi, John, please, you still need to install the script on your website. We haven't received any data." So Notify is going to like open out its API. Currently, we have a sort of we function through our API, but we don't have it like publicly available other than sort of webhooks. But this is going to be a complete game changer in terms of sending over data from other platforms and identifying users. So anyone who's familiar with like Intercom Engage, specifically the messaging functionality within Intercom, not live chat, as in sending automated messages on the website to specific users who are in segments. All of this functionality is now available within this segmentation feature. So honestly, this is, like I said, it's the biggest change for us, and I'm really sort of very happy to be releasing this feature. So also to explain a little bit more about how it actually works. Actually, the segmentation feature would work quite similar to our current structure for the reports page. These would all be different segments that you have, so you can set up as many different segments as you want. Down here, we would show who has been enrolled into the segment, who is matching the parameters that you've defined in this section that we were going over before. So who has been enrolled automatically, and we'll also show anyone that you have sent over via the API. And yeah, and you'll be able to adjust the settings from here as well. And then when you go back into your campaign settings and you're choosing who you want to display the widget to, in our drop down, you'll be able to select a segment, and that is who the notifications would be displayed to. So I hope that sort of gives some explanation into what we're sort of trying to achieve, and what we're trying to actually sort of build here, because this is going to allow sort of really advanced sort of personalization and very sort of laser targeted campaigns, based on what we're receiving from third party platforms. That any data that you send over to us, you're able to build campaigns around this data and display sort of pop-ups notifications based on information from third party platforms, which in my opinion is a complete game changer. So yeah, that is sort of what we're focusing on currently. I'm sort of speaking with the development team every single day about this tool. They're also very excited to build it, but as you can see, it's not just like building out a little, just releasing sort of one sort of small widget within our platform. This is a huge update for us, and it's required a complete change in our sort of architecture, and also how triggering of all of our widgets function, because this is going to be available obviously for all of our tools. We have to implement this on 30 plus features. So but yeah, I hope that enlightens everyone on some of the tools and things that we've been working on, and what we're building. And yeah, we have a few other sort of more short-term updates that are coming out. So, and I'll make another video about those, but it's essentially some new sort of styles for our widgets and a couple of new tools that will be released in the platform that our other engineer has been working on. So yeah, thanks for watching. Any questions, leave them in the comments. Obviously, for all sort of Notify users as well, we have the private Slack channel. So if you want to join, just send me a message and I will get you set up there, where we have like a bit of sort of communication about what's going on behind the scenes, and it makes me sort of completely accessible to everyone. So yeah, thanks for watching and have a great day.